I'm wrapping down the end of the year here on the Purple Alphabet, and as a result, I was reflecting back on all the videos we've done. I wanted to give you a top 10 Purple Alphabet favorite activity list. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. It is the end of the year and wow, what a year it has been. First of all, a huge thank you to all of you for supporting me and the channel and everything that I provide here for you guys. If it wasn't for you, this would not be possible, so I sincerely thank you. I went back and looked over the past year and I wanted to compile a top 10 list of activities that I thought were just so much fun and put them together in one video. So if you didn't get them the first time, you're definitely gonna see my favorites in this video. Leave me a comment down below because I love hearing your ideas and things that you have liked on the channel. Also, if you have suggestions of things that you wanna see in this upcoming year, I would love to hear it. So leave me a comment down below. I love reading them. Let's go ahead and start with number 10. Favorite number 10 is a phonics match game. And what I like about this activity is that you can really use a wide variety of materials to create the exact same activity. I happen to have these flashcards that have pictures on every one and this little mat to put the pictures in. You don't need the mat and you don't need these exact cards, but what you can do is find magazine pictures or even flashcards. I'm placing them here in the mat just 5 at a time because this was an introductory to phonics matching game. And I set them all out with the matching letters that correspond to each card. I'm just doing beginning sounds here, but you can do ending sounds, you can do middle sounds, depending on how you want to play it up. And I provide those cards to my child to match alongside the picture. So you can add more if you wanted to make it more difficult. You can do it one at a time, you can do it with your child, but basically the object is to find the first beginning sound of each picture and match it up with the correct letter. It's a really easy activity to put together. It takes very little time and it's very effective in learning. Number 9 is a visual perception activity, and this came about because my child was really working on this skill and looking at pictures and determining what made them up. So what I did is I found this activity board. It's a Melissa and Doug set, but you can find these pretty much in every single brand there is. They come with these boards that have geometric pictures on them, and you take the geometric shapes and you place them on top as a match, or you duplicate it off to the side. So I decided to repurpose this and make some additional activities out of it, and I just grabbed one of my trays that I had. These trays come from Michael's. You guys always ask where I find them. I've also found them on Amazon and I have them in my Amazon store. I will put the link to the Amazon store down below in the description box. So what I do to prepare for this activity is I look to see which shapes are actually in the picture and I set them aside. And I just matched up every single shape that I could find, and then I took a dry erase marker. This dry erase marker is great on these trays because you can just wipe it right off. And so all I need to do is to find how many of each shape are in the picture. And then they will write that number alongside the shape on the tray. As you're doing this, you can also talk about the names of the shapes and colors depending on the skill level of your child. And what's fun too is that you have a variety of different pictures that you can do this activity with. Next, I escalated it to another level, making it a game about shape math. And so what I'm doing is I'm using each shape as a symbol in a mathematic problem. I just chose simple addition because that's what we were working on at the time. And then I picked 2 different shapes and put them below the picture. Then they were to use the key that they created by counting how many pieces were in there to make their math problem. So here we would count 1 and then we have 3 of these, and that equals 4 total shapes. So there are 4 of these shapes in the picture. You can do this a variety of different ways with some of the other shapes in the puzzle and keep on going until you've had a little bit of fun math practice. Number 3 is a money name game, and so I was teaching my children how to count money. I also had to teach them the names of each coin. So what I did is I took out a busy bag that I'd had for quite a while. These were printable cards. If you want the link to download these, they were free. You'll have to go back and watch the original video on this, but I had them all printed out, cut and laminated into this busy bag. But for the purposes of this activity, I wanted to create kind of a Montessori 3-part card game. So I took out all of the applicable cards that I was going to use. In this case, it was just the coins. I isolated the coins first because that was what I wanted to focus on. This set also comes with some dollar bills and some other coins that you could use as well if you wanted to extend the activity, which was kind of really cool about this. Then I took my collection of coins. These are coins that I found in the Target dollar section, which by the way, I just saw some there recently. And these were great because they actually look like the real coins. You can use real coins if you like, but it's also nice to have these because they're a little bit cleaner and they look just like the real thing. So I went ahead and took out one of each type of coin that we were going to talk about. Montessori 3-part cards are a great way to learn, especially naming things. I have a whole video on how to use Montessori 3-part cards, and I'm not going to go over how to do that here, but I will show you how it is set up after the activities are done, which is having the first card, which are the pictures and the names, and the second card where the child will match up the picture, and then the name card, which is the label. Then you can also use the manipulatives, which are the actual coins, to match up. Like I said, there's a whole way to do a Montessori 3-part card, which you can see in my how to use Montessori 3-part cards video. Another benefit of using the manipulatives with the 3-part cards is you have something physical and tangible for the child to look at. So when they do encounter the coin in real life, they have a really great understanding of how it all works together. This activity is perfect for understanding the coin names and labeling them visually, looking at the front and back and the coin itself, and knowing the vocabulary to go with it. Number 6 is a number rod activity for addition. I found these number rods. They were very affordable. I think it was less than $5 for a package of them. They're at Lakeshore Learning. They come in some really fun rainbow colors. They are on a chipboard material. What's really great about this is it helps your child to understand what numbers make up another number. So what I would have my child do is to pick one, and then they would find all the different ways to make up that number. So we're thinking about addition facts or addition families. So if they picked this one, for example, they could find all the different ways by placing the other rods right up next to it to see what makes up the number 10. You can also use these for any of the other numbers up till 10, because the set does go up to 10, and you can use it for simple math problems. I found that visualizing in this way really helped my preschooler because she could see how many different ways you can make up a number. And then I also liked that each number bar was divided into how many go into that number. So the rod for 10 had 10 spaces, or the rod for 5 had 5 spaces. You could also use these with manipulative by placing each manipulative in each box so that there is another tangible way for the child to understand quantity. Number 5 activity is working with short and long vowels. Now this came from a video that talked all about short and long vowels and working up to this particular activity, but this is one of my favorites that I really liked because it was so simple. It started out with a movable alphabet. I have one that was kind of a makeshift movable alphabet from some magnetic letters that I found at the Target dollar section. However, there's tons of sets that you can find once again in my Amazon store. I have some great examples of some that are lowercase and or uppercase. What I did is I picked a vowel, in this case A, and I set up a couple of words to show how the vowel sound changes when you add an E. For instance, with cap and cape, with mad and made, and with rat and rate, fat and fate. Then we can also take away the E and hear how the sound changes. This activity is for an early reader, so someone that actually knows how to read these letter sounds, but there are some other phonics activities I have on my channel for introductory to phonics. You can also do this with other vowel sounds. For instance, here's the letter E with be, bet, wet, we, me, and met. Activity number 4 is a storytelling with flashcards game. Another great activity that you can do with whatever you have at home. I happen to have this set of animal flashcards, which was perfect for this activity. I could place it on top here in their notebooks. This was a great journaling notebook. They could write a story based on the animal that was picked. You don't have to have these flashcards. You could use any pictures from magazines or any other flashcards that you might have laying around the house. Activity number 3 is a story starter tray. This was a lot of fun to put together, plus a lot of fun to see my kids interact with it. It was a tray that I found. It's a divided tray, and inside each one is an object that I found around the house. They're going to use this as a story starter or to continue on their story. It was fun to see the different ways that they came up with creating stories around these objects, and it was really nice that they were able to hold them too. Pulled some rocks here. These are just erasers. This item is from another game. These are from tubes. So you know those Safari LTD tubes? That's where this one came from, as did this one. So they were part of other activities I had, and I just put them together in one tray here. This came from a Lakeshore Learning game. This was another Safari tube, and I think this came from a Lakeshore Learning game too. If you try any of the activities in this video, this one is a definite must. It's great for a lot of ages. I found these telling time dice on Amazon, and they are perfect for doing an activity like this, coupled with a clock that is a dry erase board from the Target dollar section, or you could just draw a clock on a piece of paper or a whiteboard. Simply roll the dice and then go ahead and fill in the time on the clock, both in an analog form and with the hands. And the number one activity on the Purple Alphabet is spelling stamps. Spelling tests were new for us this year, so we had to find a lot of ways to learn our spelling words that weren't just the typical, how do you spell this word? I had these stamps, they are from Lakeshore Learning, and they snap together to form words, but you could use any alphabet stamps that you have. The fun part was doing the actual stamping, so I would call out a spelling word, she would find the actual letters, put them together, and then stamp them out in her notebook. She's still asked to do this activity today. It was one of her favorites and one of mine too, and she's had some great successes with her spelling tests. If you're looking for more spelling ideas on how to spell words, I have a whole video on that. Let me know what you think of all of these top 10 activities. Have you tried them? And don't forget to let me know things that you want to see on the Purple Alphabet down below in the comments. I will read each and every one. Make sure to click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love. Happy New Year.